Hey everybody, it's your girl Shauna here. So, I'm going to get a little political, which is something I don't normally do, but it's something I've planned on doing tonight. President Trump, when he first got into office, he promised he was going to build a wall to keep the illegals out. Awesome, okay, that's cool. But, nobody wants to help. That's why we had the government shutdown, because nobody could actually agree on it, and nobody wanted to give him the money to actually do it. Here's the thing. My opinion is this: if taxes weren't so high, and if nothing else was high, and the country was not in debt, we'd be all right. We'd be set. Like we would be good. But the fact that Congress and everybody else wanted to fight him on it and didn't want to help him out. Obviously, there's people within our government who want illegals over here because they're working with them. So, what I'm saying is this: people need to stop looking at Trump as in, okay, he's a bad president, he's doing this. It doesn't all fall on him. What happens is it also falls on the Congress. It also falls on, um, like a Secretary of State. It also falls on the governor. Everybody else. It doesn't just fall on the president. So when someone says, "Oh, President Trump's he's a bad president," this and that, no, he's not. It's a simple fact that the government didn't want to agree on anything, and they didn't want to give him the money for the wall. The wall needs to be built. We need to keep illegals out. If you have a passport or a green card, you're fine. That's awesome. That's great. Then yes, you're allowed over here. But if you don't have a green card, or if you don't have passports, or if you're not supposed to be over here, you can get out of our country. You can get the fuck out. But that's what the whole thing was with the wall, in my opinion, is because there is people within our government who are working with illegals. That's why they want them over here so badly. And I know a lot of people will agree with me, and I know a lot of people are actually going to be like, this makes sense. Because if you think about it, it really does. It actually makes a lot of sense. Um, the president right now is doing everything that he could actually do. He's actually helped out a lot. He's kept a lot of his promises, and he's actually keeping another one by building this wall. And in my opinion, it's not just the fact that the wall needs to be built. It's not just, the fact, okay, well, we need to build the wall. We need to do this. We need to tighten up our border patrol. We need, yes, build the wall, but we also need to start checking people when they come over to see if they have their green cards and to see if they're carrying anything on them. If not, turn around and go right back down to Mexico or go back to wherever you came from, whether it be Iran, Iraq, whatever. If you don't come over here legally, you're not welcome in this country. That's plain and simple. That's the whole thing. If you're not welcome here, you shouldn't be here. We have illegals taking our jobs, taking our, food stamps, cash assistance, welfare, this and that, and the third. You got people over here in the United States right now who are homeless, who are starving to death, who need a place to live, a nice bed to sleep on, everything else. But yet, we're worried about overseas. We're not worried about what's going on in our country right now. You know, we spend all this money and everything for military supplies. We spend all this money for everything else and this, that, and the third. But what about the homeless people? What about the homeless veterans? Like, what about, the military vets who have nowhere to live, or, don't have any food or whatever? What about them? What about the ones who actually served for our country? We need to, help them out. Before we help kids out or help people out overseas, we need to help out the people over here in our own country. That's what we need to do. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be helping everybody else out. We're supposed to be helping out the ones over here. And that's why I think the wall needs to be built, because I think that should be first priority, is to keep the illegals out, keep, Americans on this side. And if you come from overseas, make sure that you come over legally, not illegally. That's the whole thing. If you're gonna come over here legally, you're more than welcome to be here. You know, like whether you're um, like a transfer student or whatever, or you know, something like that, something along those lines. But if not, you know, you don't belong here and you shouldn't be here, is the way I see it. So that's me getting a little political tonight. That's me getting, touching base. Like I said, there's obviously people within our government that want the illegals over here. That's why they were fighting against Trump. Is because somebody inside our government is working with them, is working with the illegals. I'm gonna leave it on that note. You guys comment. You guys like this video. Do me a favor. Subscribe to your girl's channel. I'm Shauna. I will be seeing y'all later on. Night, everybody.